So, just to introduce myself, my name's Alex. I lead the support team community here at Relevance AI. To the left of me, as you can see my hand on Andrew's screen, is Andrew. Andrew used to be one of our solution engineers here at Relevance AI, and he's now moved into a new position where he's our AI ops guy. So he's going to talk a little bit more about what he's doing, and he's also going to take us through the work that he's been doing for our HR and talent acquisition teams here at Relevance AI, who are helping run the business and also source new people to come and join us here at Relevance. So we're very, very passionate about that. So Andrew, take it away.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew. The work I mainly do here now is automating a bunch of stuff on the, I guess, like recruiting side and also the customer success side. And I'm pretty much just like cross-functional across a bunch of things. And today we're going to be talking about agents in HR and recruiting. I'm just going to start showing my screen now. Okay. So over here, we have a little slide deck, and essentially, like, how this is going to work today is I'm going to go through a couple points, and then we're going to jump straight into the platform and play around with the talent sourcing agent. Before we start, though, I'm gonna drop a clone link in the chat so that you guys can follow along with the agent itself. You guys can have here's the agent, and you can start playing around with it as I speak, and we'll be going through it as well. So let's get started now. I'll share my screen again. And I guess like the first thing that you need to, so what you'll get is over here, have our sourcing agent template, walkthrough of some stuff. And when talking about agents for HR and recruiting, there's also a very human element to it that you can't ignore. You can't responsibly ignore. So we'll be going through that as well. So why is AI in HR in the first place? So why we actually do it is because we don't. Our team is still pretty small, and we like to experiment with new things on like how AI can be used in several different areas. And a lot of the work that a lot of the initial work that comes into like sourcing candidates and like researching the bulk of the people that we might be interested in is a bit repetitive. So we're like, okay, maybe AI can be used there. We just have to make sure that we do it in a way that's, I guess, we'll get into that a bit later. But this is essentially why we're building AI for HR in the first place. And this is some stuff on a sourcing agent. So what it does is it finds and ranks candidate profiles. So it'll go out into the world, do some Google searches, look at people's websites, look at their portfolios, look at their LinkedIn profiles as well, and pretty much just surface that for the recruiter to see. We also store the record so that the agent doesn't backtrack over itself. And because an issue we had with earlier versions was that it was surfacing up candidates that had already been researched before. So that's something that we wanted to stop doing. And the bottom two are just we needed to log everything so that we knew exactly what we were doing and that we had full transparency on the decisions that it was making. So this is essentially like this is where you come in. because as an operator building, if you would want to be building AI in HR, there are many different, I guess, like nuances that to your role as the AI operator, where any tool can be used responsibly or irresponsibly. And this is something to be cognizant of when you're using AI for recruiting, especially. So when would be a good time to use AI is when something's been done many times before, and you can say, okay, so for this task, you have a measurable sort of like input, and you have a measurable output. There's no any sort of like there's as little subjectiveness as possible, where it's like, okay, you tell the sourcing agent, hey, I need to find this many candidates, and I have some non-negotiables of they need to have studied these things, they need to have this much experience, and let's say they need to also be familiar with these softwares. So all of those things are fairly objective metrics that you can use at scale and doesn't consider any, or it considers as little bias as possible in a sense. And I guess we have here, so for example, you can comfortably source 500 profiles using AI. But if you were to, let's say, compare whether this person fits with our culture, and they're like at a later stage of the hiring pipeline, that might not be something that you necessarily want to do, because it makes a bigger measurable impact on that person. And especially it's like, yeah, there's this point here where if you wouldn't want to defend the bot's decision in front of that person, then you probably shouldn't do it. So you can't be like, hey, our recruiting bot looked at you and it decided that you're not a good culture fit, so we're not going to go with you. And that's not going to fly. So we tend to cap it to just sourcing candidates and getting the bulk amount of candidates in front of the recruiter, and then once they're all there, then the recruiter has all the information at their fingertips to just be like, okay, this is this person, this is that person, and then manually do it from there. So I guess going on to the actual agent itself, this is what it looks like, and this is our universal sourcer over here. Before we continue on, are there any questions so far? Alex, is there anyone in the chat yet? No questions? Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is our universal sourcer that we've made. This is I guess like a simplified version of what we use here internally. And I guess like it's customizable to your preferences. What it does over here is this is its core responsibilities, your DORA, and elite talent sourcer working for your company. So at the moment, it is set to Relevance AI, so working for Relevance AI. And there's some options here for company background. So this is where you would put in your About Us over here. You have your talent philosophy over here as well. So this is, I guess, all the different, what you look for when you're hiring someone. This is where that goes, and this is its general. And there's also this sourcing list that if you so internally how we do things is we have a big list of companies that we like to source from, and if you want to add your own, this is where you would put it. So this is the workflow. Um, because the first thing that we do is we check if the candidate has already been researched or not. And if it has, then we try to find new people. We do this so that we don't surface the same thing to the recruiter that we've already researched. And once we have that, then we go on to the next thing. So we have a couple steps here, but this agent has a variety of different tools that it can use. So it's not necessarily limited to the prompt. So for example, there's this extract text from website URL and the perform Google search tools that aren't explicitly defined. But if you, they're down here, but you can just tell it to use these to search up, let's say, people's personal portfolio or different things about them. Maybe they have a news story or two about them. You can search that with these. But the main thing that we use here is to look, is the LinkedIn tool steps that are built into Relevance, where we use this one to find a bunch of LinkedIn profiles. We use this one to get personal profiles from LinkedIn if we find that we haven't researched them yet. And then pretty much we don't dig that deeply. It's pretty much just the same process that a recruiter would have to make when they're going on like LinkedIn Recruiter, for example, figuring out just like the surface level information of this person and determining whether we should message them and see if they'd like a role. So that's what this is over here. And we have this last step here to save all the records for, I guess, like for transparency and to make sure that if we did need it at some point, it's there. But it is also best practice to every couple of months or so just clean this out so you're not holding on to anyone's information that you don't need. So that's the bulk of the role. And there's a bunch of evaluation criteria as well. This is deliberately sort of like generic so that you can come in here and edit it yourself. But there's some, I guess, like some data points that everyone sort of uses. And there's a few role specific data points. So if you were to take this and use it yourself, you'd probably narrow this down into the individual different roles that you were searching for. And there's also some rules over here that, let's say the agent wasn't doing what you wanted it to do. This is where you would put that. Going to the actual agent. So, for example, this is one of the processes that it was just doing, and our initial prompt here is, "Hi Dora, I need to source candidates for a senior product manager role. We're looking for someone with 5 to 7 years of product management experience in B2B SaaS, with experience with AI or machine learning products, and a track record of launching successful products." So the first thing that we do is we search for some LinkedIn profiles, and we're using our mock sourcing map over here. At the moment, it's just 3 companies, with the current title being all of these. So we put these into the tool, and we have ourselves 10 different profiles. The next thing that we do is we check whether it's been researched or not. And some of it has been researched, some of it hasn't. And the ones that haven't been researched, so these 5, we save it into our knowledge base, and we surface up 5 suitable people out up here. So this is, let's say, this is the name, profile, this is where they are. And let's say all of these are US-based people. Let's refine our hiring location. So let's say so this is now running, and I guess while we're waiting for that to go, other things that we do in the recruiting and HR space is we also apply AI in creating our sourcing map. So a sourcing map is essentially like a list of companies that we've researched, and we've found that, okay, the people there are pretty good candidates to work with us. So that is a step even before this candidate sourcing, and it feeds into these this sourcing list here. And we find that AI is pretty good at that because it can churn through a lot of these like different company profiles in like pretty quick rate, more so than if you were doing it manually. And it can also find things like whether they have raised funding recently, or whether like what locations they're based in, if that's important for you, and whether they've been in the news recently, so we can identify what companies are most active and have like a lot of growth at the moment. So let's see if it has run at the moment, and it looks like it's gone ahead and did another search. So now we can see that it's changed the region to Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. And it's gone ahead and found 5 more people. I will just let it run for a bit. While we're waiting for this, does anyone have any questions on how the agent works?
We did have one question.
Yes.
We did have one quick question about how LinkedIn actions can be a bit limited. We had Matthew ask, how long does it take for the automation to run?
Yeah. So for about 500 candidates, depending on how you set it up with the agent. But if you're using something like this, and you have, I guess, like, because in Relevance we have a schedule in bulk sort of function, and at the moment this this agent is gonna source you about 5 candidates every time. If you're just using this one and doing a bulk run on it, let's say, I'd say it would take you about 4 hours. it's like a brief estimate. And then once you've done that, you'd have all your source candidates in the knowledge base here that I'll show you in a moment. Was there anything else? No? Okay.
No, not yet. And I feel like 4 hours is incredibly reasonable for 500 candidates. This is a sort would probably take a lot longer than.
Yeah. Yeah. um, okay, so let's see. Okay, so here we have our short list of 5 more candidates, and it's gone ahead and saved those people into our knowledge base. And these are all our guys. So we can say, okay, cool. And we have our next steps that it's suggesting. Sure, we'll go with this one. And then I'll show you how the knowledge is actually being saved. So over here, how this tool actually works is if we open this up, for this, we've essentially given the agent freedom to put in as much or as little information that it has found. So we have our LinkedIn date, our current date, and then there's a whole bunch of different non-essential, I guess, like little bits of information that the agent takes, and you can sort by which ones are available. Like the current role is generally always going to be available, but all of these other ones are, for example, if they do have GitHub activity, then it'll appear here. But if they don't, because this is a product manager role, then it won't appear here. So we get our current time, and then we put all the data into our knowledge base. What this looks like is if we're going out here into knowledge and we have our research candidates. So this is what the table looks like. It has all the different bits of information that the agent has managed to get. So the main things that we'll see here that it is usually able to get is the current role, the education, what industry they work in, a summary of their notes. So if we open up this one, it's just a quick summary on what they do. We have our LinkedIn link as well, their location, and there's a few, I guess, like more brief points about it that sometimes if they have a lot of information on their LinkedIn, then we might be able to get more things like this. But it's generally, I guess, like the AI tends to it won't store like huge paragraphs of detail about the person, and that's sort of intentional. We sort of just want to like do a few small checks here and there before we decide whether this person whether we should speak to this person or not. Because like I said before, with we only store as much data as we need, and we try not to like take too much, because then that means we're storing PII, and keeping a lot of PII is not the best. So going back to our saucer, I think it's done with its next task. It's basically like I wish everybody had content, for everything that they do, and then you that, And now we see here that, oh, it looks like we aren't able to find our Microsoft PMs in Sydney. And let's say we can tell it to broaden the search. And you can pretty much just go back and forth with this agent in this sort of conversational manner and just have it talk with you that way. So while we're waiting for this to run again, other things that we do within the space also include something that's very useful is any sort of like admin related tasks involving like data entry. So agents are really good at, let's say you have a whole bunch of people on a spreadsheet that you need to contact for something. We do have an agent that takes in a spreadsheet of people to contact, drafts all of them up a message, and then sends them all a message one by one, whether in Slack or also in email. And that's something that we found works really well for us. And yeah, there's no sort of no strings attached, I guess, because it's very objective sort of use case that you can do there. And yeah, it's going again. Let's see here, and remember that with each of these different searches that it's doing, if you wanted to, you can go ahead and put this, take this and put it into LinkedIn yourself and see exactly what it's searching and why it's searching it. And it's this way so that you can see what decisions it's making. And you can even ask it that, um, ask it, hey, why did you pick some of these people? So we'll go, let's pick one of these people. Okay, so I've asked it, hey, why did you choose this person? And it's come up with several different points on exactly why this person is chosen. We can see that, okay, high growth, uh, they've done customer interviews before, and we can also ask it, um, hey, can you draft up some outreach lines that take into consideration their experience? And if you were to do this, you can just have a bunch of different outreach messages for the different people you're interested in, or otherwise you can just make it yourself once you have all this information that's been provided to you already. How's the chat? Is there anyone? Nothing. Okay. Um, I guess if there's no immediate questions, perhaps it would be a good exercise to see and I guess like walk you guys through modifying this agent and seeing how this could be done for your company, especially. If someone has a use case or like something that they would want to hire for example, could you put it in the chat, and we'll right on the spot copy this over and see just how easy it is to create something like this and have it be functional within like 10 minutes. How does that sound? Um, oh, oh, okay, sure. Okay, we'll make one specifically for the account executive. And welcome to the webinar. More information is better, just so we can see how specific the agent can get it. Yeah. So we'll start with that, and I'll start sharing again. So going out from here, we're going to go ahead and find our agent and clone it.
I know. Holy moly. The chances. That was
Okay, now we have our clone. We have our clone agent, and we're going to say so we're gonna say, okay, I'm just gonna put all of these variables into to a new one. So you want an account executive, 5 years experience, based in Canada for a tech company. And now we can just change the prompt here for Hey, I'm sourcing for this. Candidate specifications. And we'll go ahead and start running it.
Did you do a new one?
I did do a new one. What do you mean? Oh.
New. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Oh no. this is the instructions that it comes with.
Gotcha.
And I guess over here, if you wanted to add your own talent documents and there's like more information about you, you change this talent philosophy and also this about us. And if you have additional things, how you would add it is you'd go into knowledge and then you'd click on this and upload your, I guess, like your hiring documents, things that the agent needs to adhere to. For example, let's say you have like rules specific to your country that you need to hire within these specific boundaries, and there are some things that you can't do. You'd put those into knowledge as well, and you can use that in the prompt here. And just with the double curlies, and you can put in, hey, use this, or like use these snippets, and just have those be a part of the agent. So going back to the run, we can see that it has incorporated the information we put in with the candidate specifications. So going in here, we can have a look at what it's searching. Let's look at this one first. So over here, it's trying to find the A's for a tech company. And account executive, HubSpot, Salesforce, Canada, those are its keywords. And it looks like it hasn't found any. So it tries again. Searching for a broader range this time. And this time it comes up with, I think it was 20 or so, 11. 11 new candidates, and now it's gone ahead and started running. I guess while we're going through this, it's also important to keep in mind that whatever this agent does, it is, I guess, like when talking about different hiring decisions of who gets surfaced and who doesn't get surfaced, you need to also keep into consideration that when you're looking at these agents and you're seeing all these different searches, these are, I guess, like there is some slight bias in what the agent surfaces and what the agent doesn't. And that's something that you need to be cognizant of when you're using this tool, that people at the top that the agent finds first, those are the people that you're going to see. If you want to see different things, you need to be tweaking the agent and changing this, telling it to search different things so that you'll see different people. Otherwise, if you're only using this for sourcing and you're not using any other tools, and you're sticking to like roughly the same search terms, then there may be some candidates that are qualified, but the agent just doesn't surface them up. And that's something that you need to be aware of when using automated tools like these. So now we've seen that it's gone ahead and started saving some of these people in. And we'll just wait until it's done. Colin, would you have any questions on the setup with this? You were the one that suggested it. How is it, Chad? Okay.
Yeah, we're just going to say.
I think another thing that this agent is able to do is it has long-term memory that you can use to, I guess, like edit its own prompt. And yes, when running this, you can say remember this criteria in your memory. Let's go with remember this criteria in your memory. I only want so this would be something that you might do for if you're hiring a lot of software related roles. Remember this criteria in your memory. I only want people that have a GitHub listed in their LinkedIn. Now we'll look at this now, see if it's finished. And it looks like it is done. So it's completed. It's found 6 profiles. And you can see over here, there's, I guess, like a little snapshot of what these people have done before. So there's the performance metrics, the role fit, considering the criteria that it's been provided. So exceeds a 5-year requirement, explicit Salesforce and HubSpot experience, and comes from a tech background. So this might be someone that you would want to reach out to. And there's some key strengths on them and also some potential concerns. The same goes for all the other different candidates in the area. And you can see here, it's also surfaced up a ex-Tesla person. And the people that put their metrics and show off their stats of what they've done, those are also taken and surfaced up to you. So over here, we've given it a, I guess, like a correction, told it to remember something, and it's used its saved to memory tool to say, okay, I've gone ahead and saved people that have a GitHub account and put it in there. And where this memory actually is stored, if we go into here, go into memory, we can see the stored memories over here. And we can view them in the agent's memory. So this is where all the different memory is stored. And let's say, because we're still hiring for account executives, we don't really want this anymore. You can change it. You can change the memory yourself. User preference. We consider so you can either change this in the knowledge table, or you can tell the agent to change it. So over here, we've changed it in the knowledge table, and if we go back into our agent and look at its memories, you can see that it's changed the user preference to say only consider candidates who have HubSpot experience. So that's how that goes. And if we go back into our run, yeah, and it asks you, hey, what things would you like next, or do you want to keep on searching? I guess we come to the last, 10 minutes of this Relevance Live. Are there any final questions that I can address for you? If not, I'll talk more about how this is deployed and what things that you should be doing here. No, okay, cool. So going on from this, how you would integrate this is if you already have a Relevance account, all you'd need to do is take the clone link that I sent in the chat earlier. I'll send it again right before we leave, so you guys can take it as well. Actually, I'll share it now. One moment. Oh, thank you, Alex. So once you have the clone link and you have the agent, there's some instructions here for the people that don't come to the live. These are their instructions, but for you, there are a few different areas that you can change. So that would be over here in the sourcing list. You can add as many companies as you want. I'd say up to like 200 or so. And then you might need to go through, like different methods of sourcing companies, because you can't have a several thousand company list put into this and have it work well. It's gonna forget some of them. So something that I did when deploying this internally at Relevance is to make a tool that selects companies at random from the sourcing list. And what that does is it means that there's a lot more variety in the different candidates that can be surfaced, essentially. Essentially meaning that it doesn't, if you work at a relatively well-known and fast-growing company, regardless of where you are, it doesn't have to be a really big, well-known company like these three. It'll be able to surface you and find, and essentially find information and reach out to you, just so that it's fair and we're not only targeting the biggest, most well-known companies. You should also get, either you can get an agent to make a talent philosophy for you if you don't have one already, or you can use the one You can use your own one if you have one on hand. That's usually something like a document that most recruiting professionals already have. Just put that in there. And also your About Us. There's also this hiring database that you will need to set up yourself. So how this works is all you need to do is go out here into the agent platform, and you'll go into knowledge, and you'll make a new knowledge, a blank knowledge table. So over here we'll say hiring knowledge base 2. I will create the table. And now that we have this, we can change the it to this one. And this is essentially the memory that the agent uses when hiring, and making sure that we don't hire the same people twice. So now that this is set, this candidate specifications, this was just for the demo. This won't be in the one that you have cloned. Actually, never mind, it might be. And if you want to use this, you can. But if not, you can click this little cog and edit and modify the variables as you so wish. But it's generally meant to work out of the box just like that. And once you've done those steps, you can just go ahead and start using it. And then you can just start using it, and that will just work. It's a pretty simple build. You don't need any sort of technical or coding experience to get it. You just need to know essentially what you want, and you also need to be aware that this tool will only surface to you the things that you tell it to. Yeah. So yeah, that is the agent. That's how you use it, and that's how you deploy it safely.
Love it.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Andrew. We
Do
don't
you have
have questions.
I've
Just got one.
Sorry, I'm
Yes.
just
Going on your.
Yeah.
Will this be on the marketplace?
It already is. Yeah. It will also be on the marketplace. It'll be free forever. All yours to get and use. Because yeah. Powerful tech shouldn't be gatekept.
A way of putting it. Working through the echo. How much does it cost on average to use it?
On average, so at the moment, it only costs like 500 credits per task. So this one over here, it has found you 5 or 6 candidates, and it costs 500 credits. If you did want this to be cheaper, you can think of experimenting with the different models. So over here at Relevance, we have a very intuitive little, I guess, like credit optimizer. and you can pretty much pick what your budget allows, and take into, and then just run some tests and see whether the level of intelligence of the agent, whether that's something that you're comfortable with using and is useful for you. If not, upgrade it to a higher model. But if it is, then yeah, just keep using that the model that you picked.
That way and that way.
All right.
Everyone, we've got about 2 minutes left, so if you've got any burning questions, please leave them now. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up. Everyone, we'll wrap it up here then. Next week, we're going to be having our Dan Palmer talk everything related to slides in Relevance Chat. So if you saw the slides that Andrew showed at the start of this demo, those are all created in Relevance Chat, which is our new product. And we're very proud of our amazing slide builder that creates all AI generated slides from all of your different agents, including your sourcing agent, if you ever want to do a presentation on the candidates that you've sourced. So we're very, 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 very keen for that session next week. It's going to be the exact same time, and again, also recorded on YouTube afterwards. But if you want to watch slides being built live, give our co-founder suggestions on where to go with slides, the slides he wants to build live, that kind of thing. We're really, really keen to have you next week. But thank you, Andrew, for joining this week, and we'll see you guys in the community.
You're calling me out on my slide secrets. I'll be there next week if you want to see the secrets. See you.
The secret of the slides.